Microsoft Teams is invading your car. Yeah, that's right. You're about to start taking calls on the freeway. Watch out! You almost hit those Coldplay fans. Be careful out there. HYTE is backing off of its price hikes after a tariff mess. NVIDIA's new chip leak shows 20 CPU cores and built-in CUDA horsepower. Maxsun dropped an RTX 5080 that looks like it was modded by a K-pop fan. Palit's new white GPUs are turning heads. And NVIDIA's chopping down the 5090 for a cheaper China launch. You know the drill. Let's get into it. Yeah, that's right. Palit just dropped all white RTX 50 cards, and clean build fanatics already foaming at the mouth. Let's take a look at this. Now, I think these are kind of cool looking. Let me know what you think, but there's one issue that I have with these. I'll get to it. Palit launches its first GeForce RTX 50 white GPUs featuring RTX 5060, 5060 Ti, and 5070. Let's take a look at these. Now, Palit, if you don't know, they run two major GPU brands. They have Palit, Gainward, and a bunch of others under their umbrella as well, accounting for roughly 25% of global GPU shipments, so not a small company in any sense of the word. Well, we've got some news. 4 more RTX 50 graphics cards, and they're using a white cooler design. Let's check some of these out. The new Palit White series is interesting for 2 reasons. First, they're the very first white-themed RTX 50 cards from Palit. The company experimented with this design under the 40 series lineup, and we saw some Gaming Pro variants featuring new color options, but white models in Palit's lineup still pretty rare, and there wasn't even one in the RTX 30 series. Another reason is that these cards are actually called white and only white. Apparently, Palit has dropped the dual and infinity naming and replaced it with the color name. So there's no dual white, infinity dual, or anything else you might expect to see from the box or retailer listings. Now, one of my big questions about this as well, you go through all the trouble to make a white card. Obviously, there's added cost to do this, but why is the PCB not white? Why not just go all the way? I mean, we saw the Yeston Gravistar card that I am a huge fan of. We have a bunch of those available at metapcs.com as a part of a limited pre-built launch that we did. But even on that card, take a look at this. What do you see here? A little bit of white PCB. That might have been nice on these Palit cards, but regardless, in the case of the 5060, the white OC model isn't just a color variant of the dual OC. In fact, both cards now have different clocks. The original black model ships with 2535 megahertz boost, white OC variant 2527 boost. For the 5060 Ti, that's a drop from 2632 to 2602, and for the 5070, it drops from 2542 to 2527. So some subtle changes on these cards as well. And then, of course, you have all the marketing speak from Palit themselves in terms of performance, next-gen performance, 120 FPS, 1440p of, obviously, we've got ray tracing enabled on that for gaming, 3 times faster performance for generative AI. And you can go to their site if you want to read all the marketing speak on that. But what I'm most curious about is what your thoughts are on these cards. I know a lot of people looking for white builds. This might make a whole lot of sense. Now, I think in general, white cards are kind of hard to pull off without looking cheap. And you know what? I think they nailed it for the most part. These feel somewhat premium, even in some of the pictures. Obviously, you want to get your hands on it to check it out for yourself. But I love that, you know, Palit, who's responsible for a quarter of these GPU shipments, finally delivered a clean white aesthetic for the 50 series. This is kind of cool. And I know personally a lot of builders that were looking for a card like this, something that's white, you know, it's a small detail, but lighting to reflective white synergy on builds. A lot of people like to go after that. It's a vibe. Let me know what you think about the cards down below. Finally gives the white case crowd something to be excited about. Not available for sale right now, but will soon be. If you want to keep up on this, see if they make their way over here to the States and elsewhere, make sure that you're subscribed down below. This is the Mercury Nova, and you've never seen a GPU like this. Now, we teamed up with Gravistar and Yeston on a limited number of these builds featuring the RX 9070 XT Mercury Nova edition. This thing looks like it belongs on a starship, and it performs like it too. Inside, you're getting the AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D, 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, and that insane limited run GPU. It's all cable managed and ready to game right out of the box. And yeah, it also comes with the Gravistar Mercury K1 keyboard included. Full metal, hot swappable, and built like a tank. Now, if you're the DIY type, that's totally cool. You can still try to snag the card on its own, or if you want a clean, professionally built system that just works, this one's for you. Only a handful of these exist, and when they are gone, that is it. Use code ZACKNEWS to save on your purchase only at metapcs.com. And now, back to the news. Maxsun's new RTX 5080 iCraft might be the flashiest GPU that you've never actually wanted. Let's take a peek at it. Now, this card is getting some mixed reactions online. We'll dig into that and get your thoughts as well. But first, let's take a peek. Maxsun launches GeForce RTX 5080 iCraft series. This is the iCraft flagship GPU from Maxsun. We have some photos here. We're finally getting to take a look at it. About 2.5 months ago, Maxsun unveiled its 5060 series under the iCraft lineup, which represents their flagship offerings. These models typically feature the highest factory overclocks, premium components, and unique designs. It's also worth noting there's still no sign of the Maxsun MGG, which is the Mega Gamer series, which previously included quad fan designs and overclocking focused models. So a step back from that, you can take a look at this card right here. Again, white PCB would have been kind of cool. Again, I know the cost associated with that as well. It's probably what a lot of these guys are weighing. But regardless, you've got two color options on this thing as well. You've got black and the white that you can see here. The white edition, called AGA or iCraft Cyber Magic Girl Edition, is essentially the same card, but with a custom backplate design and a white color scheme. Now, some of the feedback that I've read on comments on Reddit and things like that revolve mostly around this backside of the card on the backplate and this giant crossover here that seems to be blocking a decent share of the heatsink and pass through. That's one of the comments that I read. Let me know if you guys think that is something to be concerned about in the comments down below. Now, Maxsun had previously listed two RTX 5080 iCraft models without any detailed specs or proper images, but that changes this week. One of the models now confirmed to feature 2700 megahertz boost clock, which is about 3% factory overclock. Now, we don't have any information on the TDP on this. You would imagine default 360 watt, but it's larger than the reference design. It's got a 3-slot cooler. Also, there's an iCraft RTX 5080 AGA Plus model, but no specs or details on that yet. Now, of course, if you're trying to get this and you're outside of China, who knows how long it's going to take to show up here, but you can bet your bottom dollar these will show up on eBay at some point. And I can bet you that the price is going to be just so reasonable. Let me know what you think down below. NVIDIA's new chip leak shows 20 cores and 6,000 CUDA. Is this a mobile gaming monster or just hype bait? Let's dig into it. We're leaking all over the place today. This leak confirms NVIDIA N1X PC chip features 20 CPU cores, 6144 CUDA cores. NVIDIA N1X specs similar to the GB10 Super chip. We have a first Geekbench leak that is confirming the specs here. Let's check this out. Now, earlier this month, reports began to surface suggesting that NVIDIA is facing hurdles in launching its first high-end consumer SoC for desktops and laptops, and we've heard a lot of that revolved around the Windows 12 release, also just NVIDIA taking more time, but in reality, it's multi-pronged as well. You also have lack of demand for Snapdragon laptops as well that is kind of adding to some of this delay as well. The N1 and N1X SoCs are a different class compared to the Tegra chips used in low-power systems like the Nintendo Switch uses. The N1 series is designed to deliver high performance, including gaming. While there's no confirmed launch date for the N1, we're talking about like 2026. I think Q1 is being generous. We'll see if they actually hold to that or not. It was notably absent from Computex, and NVIDIA has no major events scheduled this year that would suggest a reveal. At this point, all signs point to CES as the earliest possible venue for an official announcement, which would be a fitting time. We'll see if it actually makes that though. What we do have now though, we have a new Geekbench entry confirming one specification that had previously only been rumored. Performance aside, which appears to be underwhelming so far, reportedly slower than an RTX 2050, it confirms two details. The N1X chip features 20 CPU cores, split to 10-core clusters. More importantly, 48 compute units. This clearly refers to streaming multiprocessors, which translates to 48 by 128 cores or 6144 cores total. In other words, the N1X specs match the GB10 Super chip, which now powers NVIDIA's new AI developer mini PCs. Now, can't say for certain whether these are identical or not, as they're intended for different platforms. However, both use ARM architecture and are expected to run either NVIDIA's proprietary DGX OS or Windows on ARM. Now, the performance shown in this leak, not impressive, but that's not the main takeaway, right? This appears to be early silicon, likely running on unoptimized software and limited drivers. Engineering samples are often artificially capped in terms of TDP or clock frequency, so important to also keep in mind we're looking at engineering samples on a lot of this data that's showing up on Geekbench. Now, some may compare it to the RTX 5070 laptop GPU, which has 4,608 CUDA cores and a maximum TGP of 100 watts. If this SoC is given more power headroom than the GB10 Super chip, it could potentially outperform that laptop GPU. There's only one way to find out. Gotta get released. A lot of chatter online, and I'm curious what you guys think about this as well. A lot of the chatter, it's electric, right? Some folks are hoping it's the next big thing for ultra-thin laptops, and others are warning that it's still early and only a prototype. Let me know where you fit on that down below. HYTE just rolled back some prices after getting smoked over tariffs. Let's dig into this. Full disclaimer, I'm a big HYTE fan. I think they do a lot of things right, and they're trying new things as well. Now, while this new X50 that they launched, I'm just gonna quick derail here, might not be your cup of tea, I know a lot of people, especially in my house, I've got 3 girls living here, they would love this case. So while it might not be for me, I love that HYTE is at least trying new stuff. Now, the X50, not out yet, but some good news for price decreases on existing HYTE cases. Let's check it out. HYTE lowers prices for PC cases in the US after hiking them in response to Trump's tariffs, but innocent weebs still pay paying the price. Many PC hardware manufacturers were hit pretty hard by the announcement of some tariffs on goods imported into the US from around the world back in April. HYTE was one of them, and they also were very transparent about how the tariffs would affect their prices. They went and showed the actual breakdown of the cost to manufacture a case. I think that was on the Gamers Nexus video. They've been super transparent about how tariffs have affected their business, and they're not stopping there. They're also letting you know, hey, we're able to back down on some of these prices now, which transparency-wise, I don't see how you could ask for more. That's pretty cool. The case company delayed orders and diverted shipments to other regions, with some prices for stock products increasing for US customers. Well, that's mostly going back to quote unquote normal for now. HYTE has announced many of its most popular cases will return to pre-tariff prices. Now, this statement from HYTE themselves says, earlier this year, HYTE was forced to increase prices on our products, including our Y series of cases, in response to current tariffs. While we continue to monitor things, the Y40, Y60, Y70, and Y70 Touch Infinite will see lower prices starting today. Now, this is a case that I'm using in my build. Personally, I'm using the Y70 Touch. It's the 4K model before they started to have problems sourcing that particular screen. This one's not available anymore, but some good news on the breakdown and what you can save. I can see right here the list of those returning to pre-tariff prices. You have the Y70 coming down 20 bucks, the Y60 also seeing a price decrease, as well as the Y40. The one exception being the Y70 Touch Infinite, which is reduced down to $400 today. That's a price down from $440 last month, but you're still going to pay 20 bucks more than you would have at the beginning of the year. Now, big exceptions here, some of the licensed products from HYTE. I know they do a bunch of collabs with different folks on their cases. You're still going to see that because they're having to pay licensing and all that stuff. So licensed models probably remain at an elevated pricing due to, licensing itself and also manufacturing constraints. Now, HYTE being transparent about tariffs, especially in this industry, is honestly rare. And for better or worse, I think a lot of people respected that. And good news is these cases can now finally match the price that a lot of builders have budgeted in for the start of the year. The tariff effects kind of still linger in licensed SKUs, but still for the standard Y series build, it's a relief. So some good news there. If you were looking to use this on your build, I know we use these cases a whole ton over at Meta PCs. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Oh, this is a good one. Microsoft Teams is now in your Mercedes. Congrats, your car is officially a mobile cubicle. Let's check it out. Yeah, you heard that right. All the big Microsoft Teams fans. I know a lot of you guys just love Microsoft Teams. Well, guess what? It's coming to your car. Mercedes-Benz will let you use an in-car camera in Microsoft Teams while driving. People want to see you missing your exit. That's just a great idea. You'll be able to let everyone at work know you're working really hard while driving along. Thank goodness. Soon you'll be able to join a Microsoft Teams call in some Mercedes-Benz vehicles and use the in-car camera to chat with colleagues while you're driving. Now, the Mercedes model that you probably won't be able to use it in, I was checking out Twitter, this model. This is your classic W123 Mercedes. I really wanted one of these when I was a younger gentleman. Check it out. I don't think you're going to get Teams in this one. Just not happening. Look at that. I'm going to come back to some of the funny comments that I saw on this, but first, let's just get through the story here. Mercedes-Benz is the first car maker to enable in-car camera use for Microsoft Teams while a car is being driven, but there are some important safety caveats that, as you might imagine, exist. While you can share a video stream of yourself merrily driving along, you won't be able to see any of the shared screens or slides while you're in motion. Dang it. They were so close. Usually video meeting apps like Teams, Zoom, or WebEx only work while a car is stationary, so this Mercedes-Benz functionality clearly designed primarily for that colleague. You guys all know the one. You've got him or her up in your head. I just know it. Who has to always let everybody know that they're working no matter what. Their camera on, always got like, sorry guys, I'm joining from the Benz today. This will have to do. See, you can see me. Nice. See, I'm working. I'm driving and I'm working. The meeting video stream will be automatically turned off as soon as the in-car camera is enabled, but other meeting participants will still see your camera feed while you're driving. So don't forget it's on if you get the urge to rummage around your nostrils or do your makeup or all of the other things that I see people do that they really shouldn't be doing while driving. Microsoft and Mercedes-Benz are also working together to integrate, Copilot. This is, man, it just keeps getting better, doesn't it? Into the latest vehicles, which would be a first of its kind in a car. The experience will be driven by voice prompts, allowing drivers to summarize emails, manage daily tasks, and more. Mercedes-Benz gleefully describes this as having, quote, the potential to transform the vehicle into a third workplace, complementing the office and home office. Now, this article mentions this. I totally agree. I don't know about you, but I already have enough workplaces thanks to smartphones and laptops. I have zero desire to work while I'm driving. Now, if this doesn't really just showcase what's going on here. I don't know what does. Let's just combine Microsoft Teams with Mercedes-Benz. This is the perfect illustration of what we're looking at here. Perfect tweet. That's great. Robert Sterling, nice job. Oh, and this one, no one, absolutely no one. Not a single soul on this earth. Mercedes-Benz. We are integrating Microsoft Teams into our vehicles. It's really what we've all been waiting for. I'm just gonna say it. Good stuff. Now, to get serious for a second, especially on the co-pilot stuff, it seems cool on paper, but for me at least, cars should remain car zones, not rolling offices. Let me know where you guys weigh in on this down below. It feels like your commute just got promoted to a cubicle. You got some love for the convenience that I'm seeing online, but the safety folks are howling about this, which, I mean, can you blame them? The RTX 5090D V2 just got a reveal date, and it's looking like a nerfed beast with a price tag to match. Let's check this out. NVIDIA to announce RTX 5090D V2 on August 5th and launch it a week later. You've got the same clocks, same TDP, but a fourth less memory on board. Now, there are some great comments on this that I'm gonna get to as well, but first let's talk about this GPU. According to board channels, NVIDIA will officially announce the RTX 5090D V2 on August 5th, exactly 1 week before launch. This typically suggests that the company may either initiate a review program or open pre-orders. Gee, they're gonna review this card? Man, wonder why they didn't do that for the 5050. Well, sorry, I got distracted. However, both would be unusual given that NVIDIA has not even formally confirmed that the original RTX 5090D is discontinued due to new export restrictions. The RTX 5090D V2 is NVIDIA's latest attempt to evade these restrictions on high-performance GPUs. The card is said to retain the same clock speeds, 575 watt TDP, and even support for overclocking. The only confirmed change is a reduced memory capacity of 24 gigabytes. Now, it's worth noting that the RTX 5090D was already significantly limited in terms of AI performance, with NVIDIA disabling many tensor-related accelerations, effectively crippling its use for AI workloads. Still, developers found ways to repurpose the card, and it remained a popular card to buy for casual and professional AI work. Now, this is somewhat interesting, but really what I'm curious about, I've started to see some leaks about this. Apparently, the cost will change on this 5090D V2. Will reportedly cost $830 less than the 5090D, which is interesting. So a 30% reduction is some of the early reports, and again, this is all just leaks and conjecture. We'll see where it actually comes in, but a 30% reduction in MSRP of the RTX 5090D, which would be a very interesting play from NVIDIA. Now, are we totally surprised about this? I mean, it is nerfed in several ways. It's going to be nerfed in AI capabilities similar to the 5090D, and we don't know if they carry similar AI capabilities. One should expect at least a 1,000 AI TOPS reduction in comparison to the 5090 itself. So the 5090D V2, a big downgrade compared to the 5090D, so maybe that's where some of the price reductions coming in, and they're already running out of these 5090Ds as well. They're pretty much sold out everywhere, been discontinued. So I would be surprised if there's any left when the 5090D V2 actually launches. So what you're getting here is a cut down version of even the 5090D. You've got 24 gigs GDDR7 on a 384-bit bus instead of 32 gigs on a 512-bit. But I mean, if you are truly using this card for gaming, you know, despite lower bandwidth and AI capabilities being reduced, benchmarks would obviously suggest strong gaming performance regardless. Now, let's get into the comments on this. I'm sure there's some interesting stuff down here. It's amazing how quickly they can come up with new GPU models when it's not for gamers. And then you have a retort here. I don't blame them. Gaming is a hobby and privileged use of time that means very little to their bottom line. It is not the priority of most who need GPU or parallel processing these days. Ooh, and this is where the comments just get heated. We've got the back and forth going on. Gaming is not really a hobby or privilege. It's an outlet just like walking, running, or talking to a counselor. Recreational, of course, but that doesn't equate to privilege. Let me know where you guys weigh in on that down below. So now we have a D, DV2, and double D. That never ended up coming to fruition. This is the double D. Can we get even more 5090 cards? And the perfect response to that, I prefer triple double D size, of course. Nice, good stuff. So announcement coming August 5th, launching August 12th in China. The 5090D V2 cuts the memory specs to meet the export restrictions and compliance, but drops the price by what could be nearly as much as, I don't know, $800. So you've still got that Blackwell power, just way leaner. Let me know what you guys think about this card down below. All right, guys, we've got a lot of new people that are, maybe you're seeing this video for the first time. For me, it's your first time seeing my dumb face. Heads up, I cover a tech on this channel with a little bit of sarcasm, not a lot of corporate fluff. I'm not here to sell you hype or sugarcoat bad products. Some people get it, some people get mad, and you know what? Honestly, that's fine. I'm just trying to make tech fun again without turning it into a fanboy war zone. So stick around, give it a few videos, and if I rub you the wrong way, my bad. I still think you're great.